Recently, I've noticed something really particular and specific regarding the GW2 content consumption on YouTube. A lot of very small channels getting thousands of views on their first experience on GW2 videos. And I saw this happening because I was watching this content myself. But how is that possible? Why are we so attracted to this specific kind of content, and what does this fact says about the GW2 community? Hey everyone, I'm Norotus. I've been playing casually and less casually GW2 during the last 8 years, and today I'd like to talk to you about my personal experience with YouTube content of GW2 and how this game shaped its community and how much this community can tell about the game. First of all, some small warnings. English is not my first language, so please endure some mistakes in this video. I will be talking of my personal experience with GW2 and its YouTube content. I'm sure most of your experiences have been different and you might not agree with me, so please, you're all invited to express your disagreement or agreement in the comment section in a civil manner. I will mention a lot of content creators and use some of the footage or the video. You will find, of course, all the links to the channel in the description of this video. Please go support all these fantastic people. So, before explaining my thesis, I'd like to give you an overview of my personal experience with GW2 and in parallel showing which kind of content I was watching on YouTube during this experience. So, I began playing GW2 at its release. I actually bought the game. I have a small empty game box with just a cardboard flyer containing the activation key for the game. Fun fact, not too fun for my wallet, I also found a receipt inside of it, and I can tell you that I spent €60 for the base game. I was super excited about it because I played GW1, where Char were the main enemy of the beginning of Prophecy's story, and the idea of being able to play one in GW2 was mind-blowing for me. At the beginning of my experience, I was doing what everyone else was doing, exploring Tyria, completing my personal story, the usual stuff. And honestly, after a while I became a bit bored with the game and didn't play at least until the release of Heart of Thorns. It was with this expansion that I began searching for GW content on YouTube. In fact, given the intricacy of some achievements and of its map, I began having a certain need for certain videos, especially when I was looking at the point of interest thinking, how the fuck do I reach that? And the first thing I was doing was obviously, hey guys, it's Ian, because there was I Maiden making videos on literally anything in GW2. I'm telling this to show that at the time, the only need I had for YouTube content was something that was helping me in the game. Of course I checked other creators of GW2 at the time, like Mighty T-Bot or Wooden Potatoes, but their content was often referring to endgame content of GW2 and I didn't have the in-game experience to understand what they were talking about. But what I'm trying to say is that for most of my time playing GW2, I only had a functional reason to search for content on YouTube. I honestly do not know if at the time there were creators covering other aspects of the game or created a different type of content. I just know I wasn't actively looking for it. Now, you must know that for most of my time in GW2, I've been a solitary player. Besides a good friend of mine, Argon, with which I was playing together every day, I didn't have a huge or stable community to rely on for endgame content. So yeah, we craft our ascended armor, we got all the agony fusion required to do T4 fractals, we even conquered the guild hall, just the two of us, and it was so satisfying.
Sta caricando nulla, si è buggato!
Andiamo! Che torno in vita!
Stava caricando, ho beccato la pietra. Mi faccio un po' di merda sotto i piedi. 1%?
Scusa! Clicca su quel cazzo di cristallo! Com'è che sono morto? Ah, per cosa?
3, 2, 1, vai!
But there was always one endgame content that we were aspiring doing and that was seemed unreachable without experience or more friends. Raiding. And one day, almost 4 years ago, I stumbled upon this video.
This is very unfortunate.
No! I was astonished, positively of course, for two reasons. The first one, someone was doing content that was not purely functional, but it was actually satirical, let's say, on the game that I loved. It was like finding the only other person with your same interest at a party where everyone is speaking about a topic you have no knowledge about. Secondly, it was showing that reality that me and my friend Argon were aspiring to. The idea of being in a call with other friends, having fun, learning how to defeat something altogether. The dream. Until that time, yes, I was playing Heroes 2. Yes, I was having a ton of fun, and yes, I was loving the game, but it still felt as if it was something only me and another bunch of weirdos like me could like. Again, I'm sure there have always been a vibrant and alive community, and maybe there was other similar content realized on the game, but I wasn't able to see it until that moment. Coming back to my personal experience in game, with time passing, finally some new friends joined the guild and became active players, and me and Argon were always helping them as a priority in our game routine. We could do some T4 Fractal and make some really good money, but the new guy just reached level 30, we have to bring him to the Ascalonian Catacombs. Also, being the first instance group content that the new player meets in this path, you have no idea how many times I've done Ascalonian Catacombs. Like, I've killed so many gods I should be made Char Emperor right now. In general, we were answering all their questions, teaching them helpful tricks and mechanics, and I was noticing two things mainly. Number one, in Guild Wars 2 there's a lot to be known, and I actually knew a lot. Without the questions of a new player, I wouldn't have noticed it too much. And number two, I found myself repeating the same notions multiple times to different people like a broken disc. Moreover, I clearly don't have a gift for synthesis, so I usually spend half an hour teaching stuff to newcomers trying to be as detailed as possible. Every time I was explaining what are living season, how dungeons work, what are fractal, what to do to get some quick and easy money, blah 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 blah. Don't get me wrong, I was enthusiastic while explaining all this stuff to newcomers, but still, I was repeating myself a lot. And just 1 year ago, I found a fantastic YouTube channel by watching this video.
Hello everyone, Muckluck Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire IV here, and I'm going to explain to you as fast as possible the charm and appeal of Guild Wars 2 versus other MMOs and make comparisons whenever possible. I frequently get visitors to the stream that ask questions like, I'm looking for a new MMO to play, I'm a bit bored with... insert other MMO name here. Do you think I would like Guild Wars 2? Here are the things I think Guild Wars 2 does best.
Someone who had these problems and solved them, also someone that was probably asked these questions a lot of time, and understood that there are actually a lot of people that might be interested in this kind of content. I honestly think that what Muckluck did with the video opened the door to new waves of players, and eventually content creators, to join the game. I've always felt like Arena marketing was not as efficient as I hoped it would be, and I think Muckluck's videos filled that hole. I really think that if we are seeing Guild Wars 2 booming again within 2020 and 2021, it is thanks to the content created by Muckluck and by new content creators approaching Guild Wars 2. Now let's move to the present time. The new guilders learned everything they could learn and played the game constantly, to the point they reached the same level of content experience that me and Argon had. We are now doing raids together, and they are even teaching us new stuff, exactly as we were doing with them at the beginning. And now, what changed in my content consumption? Well, I constantly check Muckluck's videos to learn something new I might have missed, and I laugh at Laranity's montages. I'm also finally able to understand what Wooden Potatoes and Mighty T-Bot are talking about. But it's another kind of content that got me hooked. And it all started with a video from Criticnatic, a player experiencing Guild Wars 2 for the first time. The video appeared on my YouTube homepage and I clicked, just out of curiosity. And I got hooked. He was so genuinely excited about everything, about every aspect of the game I loved so much. Also, I wanted to put some footage of his video, but I noticed that I could not find his channel anymore. I don't know what happened, I just hope he's fine and safe. Much love, dude. And after it, more videos of this kind popped on my YouTube page and they were getting a lot of views. I was wondering, how was that possible? I found the answer by asking myself the same question. Why was I watching all these contents of new players trying the game? And I gave myself multiple answers. Number 1. First of all, I love this game. I want more people to see how good it is. It always happened in the past when I was trying to push this game to my close friends as a really good drag on the market. Having people checking the game and being excited about it was fantastic for me. Moreover, having more content of the game on YouTube meant that it was easier to have new people that didn't know the game to enter in contact with it and check it out. Having so much new content on YouTube was also a vivid indication that Guild Wars 2 was alive. I know it has always been, even if some people think the opposite, but this was an evident confirmation. Number 2, I think the design of the game taught us to behave like this. Let me explain. Guild Wars 2, in my opinion, but it's a commonly shared opinion, as one of the best community of the MMORPG genre. I think this happens because the design of the game pushes you towards a cooperative and helpful behavior. If someone is downed or dead, you can clearly see it on the minimap and you're going to help him. You will be rewarded with some XP and feel a better person about it, let's be honest. You are never going to steal anyone's reward in events, and no one is going to steal anything from you. Participating in an event is always a win situation. Also, and this is something I really love and that clearly shows how ArenaNet pushed the design of the game to make us help each other, the first mastery tag of Saint Alteria that you can unlock allows you to tag yourself as a mentor in-game. Nowadays it's a bit more blurry, but at the time of Earth of Thorns, if you had the expansion and the mastery point, it was highly plausible that you had around 2 or 3 years of experience, and that you had some knowledge to share to anyone new playing for the first time. ArenaNet wasn't giving us a new skill that will make our life easier in-game, but gave us the possibility of being a mentor to new players. I really think ArenaNet succeeded in its intent, and the community of the game actually went further, helping people even going beyond the implemented mechanics. The first example I can think of are the Mesmer camped at daily jumping puzzles to teleport you to the end. Of course they received some tips and I tipped them myself, but the idea of people tagging up in a map, only to stay in a point for a long time just to help other players finish a daily quickly, is still mind-blowing to me. With the same mindset, I clicked on the new experience videos. I want to see new players trying the game, see which difficulty they find, how they like the game and how I can help them. Number 3, we loved our world experience in the game. Seeing the same excitement we had in the eyes or in the voice of a new player helped us relive the same experience again. Seeing Critic Nartic find by chance the Pirates jumping puzzle hidden in Lion's Arch exactly as it happened to me made me relive that experience with the same excitement. It's as if we are showing our favorite movie to a good friend and we are checking every 30 seconds if he's enjoying it. Also, being arrived at the end game content for a while, I'd be more than happy to have my memory erased only to replay through Guild Wars 2 as if it was the first time playing it for me. These new players publishing the first experience are helping us going through it again, and I'm extremely thankful for it. Number 4. It's exciting to see a new strong and tight community being formed around the game. We're also seeing the older content creators welcoming with open arms the newest ones. For this specific point, I think Xamblas Productions is doing an incredible job creating a strong binding within all the creators of the community by doing her podcast with one different content creator each episode. In general, I think that the community of Guild Wars 2 was starving for content. Don't get me wrong, as I said previously, there have always been creators doing an incredible good job with their content on the game, but we are now witnessing the expansion of the community to more and more people bringing different type of content. I love to see that the community is welcoming all these new players with open arms, and given the general behavior of the community in-game and how the game itself shaped our behavior, I would not have expected anything different. This need for more content creation for Guild Wars 2 is something that I saw also in the community of the game speaking my native language, and this is the reason why I try to release videos in Italian, pushed by the wave of enthusiasm and creativity that the Anglophone community was having and heavily inspired by specific creators. The reason why I did this video in English is related to the fact that this phenomenon is affecting only the international or Anglophone community, and I really wanted to talk about what I was observing, but I couldn't do it in Italian because I would have fallen on a community that isn't seeing yet this new wind brought to Guild Wars 2. So, this was my really confused and confusing video about why we enjoy so much first impressions video on Guild Wars 2. At least, this is why I do. I thank you for following me until the end, and I'd love to hear more of your opinions, so please leave a comment, subscribe if you'd like, and come find me on Twitch. I usually stream around 8 or 9 PM CET, so just drop a follow to my channel if you want to be notified when I'm live. I hope you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you next time. See ya.